Really, go ahead, let her in. 3, 2, and 1. Is she here? Nishi?
Hello?
Nishi! Hello!
Nishi, Nishi,
Nishi!
Nishi,
Nishi! We're all here.
Nishi,
Hello! We can't see
Hi,
you.
Nishi.
Hi,
everyone.
everyone.
Hello,
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 hello.
Hello.
Hi, great to see you, Kabir.
So good to have you here, Nishi. We were just getting ready for you, so everybody's excited and waiting to hear from you. How are you, Nishi?
I'm great, Cheryl, and so happy, and it's a pleasure to be part of your program. I've heard so much about you and your program.
My honor, absolutely. We are very aligned. We have a very similar message, which I absolutely love because very few people pass on this message to the world. So I'm so happy that you're my sister in the same message, if you will. With money.
Thank you.
I know you speak about money, right? And the mindset around money.
Right, yeah.
Okay, everybody. So Nishi is really just waiting to share what she's got for us today. So allow me to briefly introduce her so that you all know who Nishi is. I know everybody knows Nishi already, but I'd like to take this. It's my honor really to invite her and introduce her. So she's a coach, she's a trainer and a management consultant. She works with organizations all around the world and with individuals. She has helped to transform over 1,000 lives, over 1,000 people's lives have been positively impacted by this wonderful woman's work. She works in positive psychology, that's her niche, which includes emotional fitness. Of course, that's what she's here to talk to us about, and that's why we're so happy because there couldn't be a better time to be talking emotional fitness. She also teaches about the language of success and understanding personality code and transformation through coaching. So let's all put our hands together and welcome Nishi Shetty. Welcome, Nishi. All yours.
Thank you very much, Cheryl, for such a lovely introduction. And thanks all of you, all the participants, to have joined today on this weekday after work. I know how difficult it is. Some of you may be on the way, and some of you must be working from home. It's a very interesting subject, and I hope that today's session will be all participating in and engaging, and more of a discussion. It's not a training. It's not a workshop. It's just a discussion. All right, so here we go. I have a small presentation, but during the presentation, we'll have engagement. Write in the chat box so much about your real feelings, your questions, things that you would like to know about. If I can help you change certain language. So let's be all open. I'll share the presentation and then we start with a small video. Hello, everyone, and I hope you understood more about my profile through this video. I would like to ask you one question, and please reply to me in the chat box. What do you think emotions are? What do you think emotions are? Okay, so I see some answers. Thoughts, a reflection of your thoughts and feelings, guideposts, feelings, yes. Anything else? Okay, so what I think is emotions is the language. It is your language to the world. So there is an outer language and there is an inner language. Outer language is expressed in words, right? We have conversations, we have engagements, but what about the inner language? How does it come out? If, for example, you are with somebody and you're not talking, do you think you can still communicate? Yeah, you can, right? In the communication model that you might be knowing about, 55% is the body language, and the emotions are reflected through many things, and body language is one of it. I would like to tell you a story of a carpenter. There's a story of a retiring carpenter, which is a true story. His name was Daniel. Now it's not his real name, and he worked for 40 years for his employer. And he was a brilliant carpenter. He used to make beautiful houses. He used to put all of his passion when he used to select the stuff for making that house, which would be wood or which would be things that he had to put in the swimming pool. After 40 years, he decided to retire because he wanted to spend more time with the family and he had done enough. And he thought it's time to trade money with relaxation and happiness. And it was time. It was his age as well. And he told this to his employer, and the employer wasn't very happy about it because he was a very good employee. So he said, "Okay, can you build one more last house for me?" And Daniel said, "Yes, why not? With pleasure." However, Daniel's heart was not in the work. Yeah, so what he was doing was just finishing his work. So he wasn't doing work with passion or excellence. He had degraded from high quality and excellence to lower quality of work. And eventually he built that house. The owner came and he looked around in the house and he said, Daniel, this is the key of the house. I wanted you to build your own house. And Daniel was shocked. Only if he knew that he was building that house for himself. And this is what happens. When we are doing work, business, at home, relationships, we are carrying certain emotions. And it could be emotions of excellence, or it could be emotions of low grade quality. It could be emotion of passion, or it could be emotion of not doing good enough. So whatever it is reflected in the work. So they say, whatever you are today has been built by yourself. This is what you have been building all these years. So whatever is happening today in this world to yourself in all areas of your life has been built by yourself. So build wisely. Okay, so a bit about my introduction. You've already seen the video, and Cheryl has given a nice introduction. Just to tell you a little bit about my story, I'm 20 years here in UAE since 2020, since 2000, sorry, it's been 20 years. I come from New Delhi, India. And when I came from India, uh, I was told that I will not get a job in HR because previously in India, I took 5 years of family break, and I was into recruitment and placements within IBM's computer center. I also, when I was born and during the years when I was studying, my parents had this belief. So I had the belief system of my parents that either you can be an engineer or you can be a doctor. Even being a lawyer during those times, 50 years back, wasn't considered something to be proud of. So I was neither a doctor nor an engineer. And then I moved on with this belief system that I wasn't good enough. And that actually developed a lot of lack of confidence in me. So I came to UAE and I was told I will not get a HR job. I took first job in recruitment. I worked for 1 year. And there were some challenges, and I decided I had to pursue what I believed in. I wanted a job in HR because that's something I loved. I left the job without having another job. Within 10 days, I told all my clients I had 4 jobs. Then I joined an organization called GAC, Gulf Agency Company, a Swedish logistics company. Then I worked with Al Fathem, came to UAE, as it came to Abu Dhabi. My husband was transferred here in 2007. Again, I left my job and I knew very well that the relationships I had developed and the vibrations I was releasing in the universe would get me a job. Within 17 days, I got a job of HR manager with Aldar Line Group, a joint venture between Aldar and a British company called Line Group. And then I worked with them for 2 years, and then I started working with Sangoba. After that, during those years, I knew I had to get into entrepreneurship because my passion for people transformation was building a lot. And I knew I had to do it. So during that journey, I attained certain certifications that you know about, which you can see over here. And I started to develop my confidence. And it was only last year, people say it was the right year or the wrong year, but I took the leap of faith and started this. So every time it was confidence, and I broke the old belief system. Anyway, so moving on, and here I am to share all my experience and all my knowledge. Today's takeaway will be, how does the mind work? The impact of emotions in 3 areas: relationships, career, and health. And what are some of the techniques? There are quick techniques wherein you can change the negative emotions to positive emotions. Now, all you have to do is you have to believe in that, because some people think it's philosophy, but actually it is the truth. So how does our mind work? Yeah. Now, if you are seeing me on the video, I would want you to see my red jacket. Okay. Please look at my red jacket. Easy, right? Let me run the chat box. Are you seeing my red jacket? Okay. Now I ask you not to see my red jacket. Please do not see or think of my red jacket. What's happening? What are you seeing? Where are you focusing? That's all we're looking at, right? Right, Ranira? So this is what happens. Now, if I tell you, look at my white top. Now think of my white top. What are you focusing? So what is the difference in these two statements? When I said, do not look at my red jacket, and instead of that, when I say, look at my white top, what is the difference? The energy goes where the focus goes, right? So energy flows in that direction. So if we are telling people, do not look at the negative of the economic situation in the market, and what will people do? They will keep getting and reading the news, which will show them more negative situation. Cheryl, really interesting and funny, yeah. So Cheryl is writing today morning. She woke up and her intuition told her to wear this red and white t-shirt. Yeah, we are in sync. We're talking the same language. So this is the first lesson for ourselves. How our mind works. You know, there are two minds, the subconscious mind and the conscious mind. Now, I'll show you an example. The subconscious mind, it is also called unconscious mind, is our little brother. And all the involuntary actions are happening from the subconscious mind. And what happens from the conscious mind is what we consciously do. So, for example, you're driving on the road. Okay. Now, the mind works in three modalities. There are 3 steps. One is the generalization. So, you're driving on the road. when you have driven one car, you don't need to learn to drive another car, right? So your Mercedes works the similar way as Toyota, right? It is just the difference in the features of where they are placed. So that is called generalization, and that's what mind does. Second is the deletion. Now, when you're driving on the road, there are so many distractions, the sounds and the cars and the vehicles passing by. Your mind knows how to delete this information. There are 50 million bits of information going into your mind every minute. So the mind knows how to delete this information. Otherwise, it will be overwhelmed and it will collapse if it starts to process all the information. And the third is change, which is also called distortion. So sometimes the mind will get some information, but it will change. And suppose it sees the accident, and the mind has a limiting belief, which is coming from the unconscious or the subconscious mind. The mind says, oh, I'm not a great driver. I'm a slow driver. Today, I will reach 30 minutes late because there is also an accident. So this is what the mind does. Now, what should the mind do, and what does it do if it is in context of the career? So in context of the career, the mind generalizes, oh, there's a pandemic situation, the economy is shrinking, there are no jobs. This is what the mind could tend to do, because this is the information that it's getting from outside. So if the mind is pessimistic, it'll always think negative, and it will always look at the events which are happening because of the pandemic situation and the economy is shrinking. And the mind also deletes. If the mind starts to believe in that, this particular statement, it will delete all the opportunities that may be coming to to that person, because his mind thinks these are not the opportunities, and he's not even looking or focusing at them. And then mind also changes and distorts the information. Even if he gets an opportunity, he thinks it's not right for him, and he is actually preparing his subconscious for an interview for failure. So mind works in many different ways. It is up to us whether we look at things from the pessimistic point of view or from the optimistic point of view. Now, life is an emotional journey, right? As I said, it is a language. It is your inner language. Now, for a moment, if you just do not speak, just think that you are not speaking, will the other person who's looking at you communicate with you? Will you be able to look at your face, and will understand your language? So as I mentioned earlier, it is your inner language. And there are impact of emotions on everything that you do. It is health, it is relationships, it is career, and everything or anything. So life is an emotional journey, okay? And if you're having a happy journey, that is what life is all about. I was doing this Art of Living course a few weeks back, and I was listening to Sri Ravi Shankar's videos after that, and I'm doing his Sudarshan Kriya every day. The best thing that I liked is, to come out of the emotions, and I practice that every day. And whenever I'm stuck, is that life is happening. Life is happening to all of us. Life is happening to us. Why are we so much bent upon fighting it? When we move towards accepting it, you will always find solutions. The doors will open. But the moment we get into why is this happening? Why is this happening this year? Why is this happening to me? And you get into, oh, there were wrong karmas, and whatever reason people would fit into that situation, it is not helping, right? So here is this picture. I would like you to look on the picture on the right side, that omega picture. Every emotion has a frequency. So, for example, I'll give you an example. Any parent can identify if their 3-year-old child prepares a card, a birthday card, and fills it with love and gives to the parent. That parent will still keep that card for 20 years later, isn't it? Because there are emotions attached in that birthday card. So emotions can be put on a paper, right? So all these emotions have a frequency, and this is the frequency which is assigned to every emotion. Now, when you release, you have an emotion, like it or not, there is a certain frequency which is released in the universe. The way you tune into the FM, you want a certain channel, FM, Mirchi, whatever, 97.3 or 103.8, you tune into certain frequencies. Similarly, for a certain emotion, if you want to feel the emotion of love, you have to raise your vibrations to the tune of frequency of 500. Now, you don't know how to raise your frequency, but you can increase your emotion. So positive emotions have a higher frequency and the negative emotions have a lower frequency. And that's why they say whenever you have a negative emotion, you are moving on to a lower frequency. So, but the beauty is, the good thing is, the good news is that you can change from a negative to a positive emotion and the frequency. And how do we do that? We'll talk a bit in the next slides. So write in the chat box for me, what is your feeling for the future? And let's identify what frequency are you in when it comes to the future. Bright, Sushma, excellent. What else? Excited, enthusiastic. So we have a lot of positive emotions here for the future. Exciting, great, hope, excellent. So you are all in the frequency from 400 plus for the future when it comes to the future. And always remember, whatever situation it is, we have to be in a higher frequency. Now, I would like to share an experiment that was done by Dr. Masaru Emoto. It's a very famous rice experiment. And he was a Japanese businessman. And he was an author and pseudoscientist. So what he did was he took 2 jars and he took same rice. And he put them in the jar, same quantity in the similar environment, and he put them. So what he used to do for a few weeks, he went to each of the jar, and to one which he labeled as love, he used to talk and give vibrations of love. And he used to talk with that jar with love. And the other one, he used to talk with hate and all those words of hatred. So after a few weeks, when he noticed those 2 jars, what had happened, and this is a real experiment, the rice in the jar had changed just with the words. So what he believed was that what he believed with the words, the molecular structure of the water can change. So with prayers and love, you can even change the polluted water to a not drinkable water, but to clean water. And this is true. There is another incident, I'm not an incident, but there's another practice I mentioned about Solomon Islands. I don't know how many of you know. It is 2,500 kilometers in east of Australia. And in this island, when people want to cut down a tree, they gather around it, and for 1 month, they are cursing the tree rather than cutting it down, and the tree falls off automatically after 1 month. So this is so true that our words now are not only impacting people, it is impacting things, because they are all living things. So now let's see the impact of emotions on health. Do you think exercise impacts your emotions? And how does it do that? Can anyone write to me in the chat box? Do you think exercise changes the emotions? Yes, okay. By releasing happiness hormones, yeah, dopamine. Yeah, absolutely. Increased movement, increased energy, higher vibration. So exercises reduces stress hormones, which is adrenaline and cortisol. Okay, and it stimulates endorphins, which is body's natural painkillers and mood elevators. So exercise is very, very important. If people think they're in a sad mood and they're going to be sitting around for hours and hours and just discussing about that incident or event that has caused them to be in a sad mood and it is going to change, absolutely sorry to say that it will not happen. So first thing that I always suggest to people is move your place, just get up. When I'm doing my trainings, I do at least 5 to 10 minutes of exercise just before coming in to pump up my energy. Whether you do jumping jacks or you have your actions, energy actions. And I say to people every time in every session, I say, my energy action is yes, yes, yes. And I do it a couple of times and I get energized. So all of us need to do this on a consistent basis. If people cannot change emotions, I can accept that, because it is absolutely not easy to change emotions because of internal wiring. But if you exercise, it automatically gets changed. The other thing is breathing. People who come from India, they know pranayam. It changes the body and the emotions when you're doing these breathing exercises continuously. And when you're doing physical exercises, breathing automatically happens. So deeper breathing helps. Now, if you look at food, so how do you think emotions of a person will be if he's on unhealthy diet, fatty foods all the time, filling his stomach? There is boredom eating or there is panic eating. How do you think the person will feel? So food is very important, and it's not only the nutrients, the balance, the timing of the food. It's a big science. I'm not getting into it, but what I'm trying to say is these external things have a very, very big impact on emotions. And then we talk about mental health. So I am coaching some of the 15-year-old girls who are into depression. There are girls who have suicidal tendencies. As per their report, there are girls who have either somebody has cut their hand or I've met somebody who's laughing in 1 minute and then crying in another minute. Can you imagine the state of those 15-year-old? What kind of future are they creating for themselves, and how they have created this present for themselves? So mental health is such a big subject these days, and it is all because of emotions. So everything is interlinked. It is all wired together. The exercise, the food, the emotions, the situations, the optimism, the happiness. Everything is interlinked. I would like to show you a small video, and then we will talk more about it. Oh, sorry, what happened? Hi, today in this very short video, I'm going to talk about the drama triangle. So there are 3 corners of this dreaded drama triangle of human interactions. The first one is the victim. For some people, nothing is ever right. It could be the friends, the colleagues, the society, the boss, the country, the roads, the politicians, the place, the children. Anything or everything is always wrong, and they can't do anything about it. The best that they're doing is what they are doing. And the second one is to be a hero, to be the rescuer. So the people who are in the victim mode will come to these people and they say, oh, let me help you. Let me fight your battle. I'll help you. They want to be and feel like a hero to give them the temporary satisfaction. And the third one is to be in the blame mode. Either they are kicking themselves. I'm not right. I can never do it. I don't have the skill. I don't have the confidence. Oh, I can't ever get it right. Or they are blaming others. So they just find somebody to throw the responsibility onto them. So to be in any of these corners is wrong, and we keep jumping from one to another. What is the right way? To be out of this drama triangle and to be either a coach
or a challenger in terms of helping somebody to think what's the right way, what is the right thinking, what could they do better. So basically, moving from the problem mindset to the solution mindset is the right way of being.
So what does this teach us? Now, in relationships, we're talking about emotions and relationships. This is a drama triangle that we are into most of the time. Yeah. So we are not saying that we should be in a situation where that we are not into this, in this triangle. But the ideal situation is that you are not in the drama triangle. You are not inside the drama triangle. So I'll take you through the steps how you move from the drama triangle to another triangle, which actually takes you to freedom, emotional freedom. Now, the three points or the three dots of this triangle are the three corners. Is one is the victim mode. How many people do you know who are always in a victim mode, no matter what happens to them, whatever the situation is, pandemic, no pandemic, job or no job, a good job, a better job, whatever it is, or the relationships with the children, with the spouse, with the friends, whenever you speak to them, they are pessimists. They are always finding the negativity into the positive situations. I met somebody recently, and this person was saying, I pray that my children don't become like me. I was shocked to hear that. And this person said, yes, it is true, because I have become so negative. Oh my God. So it is very, very difficult for us to come out of the victim mode, because that's a mindset. And the other day I was speaking to my mom, and she often gets into victim mode, and she said, I can't help it. There's so many situations all the time coming on into my life, and I'm always feeling this like this. Oh my God, yeah, it's story of our mothers, Ranira. I agree with you, but that was a generation, that felt that whatever's happening to us is because of outside things. And there's the other corner of this triangle, which is persecutor, which is blame mode. You can't do anything right. People, you can. It's all about you, about others. They're always finding fault in others. And you know what? The actual thing is they have their own insecurities, and they hide behind blaming others because they don't want to accept their own challenges. So being in the blame mode, and if you are in an organization, there are many people, there are many leaders who are always in the blame mode, blaming others rather than taking the responsibility of changing the scenario or the challenges that person or the team, the subordinate is facing. I often, during the coaching session, I often tell some of the leaders who have this challenge, who have, who actually bite their teams quite often, who blame their teams, and they throw their outburst, their emotional outburst so frequently. And these people have challenge, and they come to me and they say, what do I do about this? I can't help it. They don't deliver as per my expectations. And my answer to them is this. I said, you have reached this level because you have a certain level of capability, and if you have to accept their capacity and their capability, once you've done that, once you have accepted those people, it will be far easier for you to help them come up to the level of your expectations rather than blaming them. So what these leaders do, they think everyone will perform and deliver at the level that they are at, and that's the biggest mistake. And there are other people who are always the rescuer in the organization. The rescuers are a big risk. So what happens is, to these rescuers, somebody will come, oh, I've gotten into this problem with my boss, my manager, or with other colleague, and this rescuer will say, don't you worry, I will help you, I will support you. If somebody asks me, I will be there for you. So rather than they're fueling this person, they're winding them up, right? So rather than coaching them what is the right thing, they think they are going to become a hero. which is not right. So what is the right way? What is the cost of the drama triangle? A person who's in the victim mode, they say there are parasites, right? They're always dependent on others and they become weaklings, and they're happy to live the life of being a victim, of being a weaker person, because they can just blame it to the challenges, the events. A blamer, he is always, they're never going to improve. He's stuck because he's blaming others for the things that are happening. He can never see things inside him. And then there's persecutor, which is basically the hero person. Yeah, these people are actually insecure and they are lonely, but they feel that they're brave and they feel they're complete. Rather than dealing with their own insecurities, what they do is they go and help somebody in a wrong way rather than coaching them. So what is the right way to do? Right way to do is move from this dreaded drama triangle to the empowering drama triangle, and just shift the triangle. So the victim person has to become a creator. He has to see whether I can change the things. Is he in the effect mode or is he in the cause mode? From effect mode, he has to go to the cause mode. He has to create the new reason, find that new reason to change. A person who blames, he has to become a challenger. He has to challenge the person who's coming to him, and that motivate that person, whether it's his team or somebody else in the relationship, and give him the confidence that you can do it. And whereas the hero who's always going and rescuing others, he has to become a coach. As they say, show the person how to fish rather than giving him money. So give him the skills. And that is how you move from a dreaded drama triangle to an empowering drama triangle. Can you let me in the chat box, do you ever feel, and all of us are actually in one or the other, which is the corner of the dreaded drama triangle you find yourself the most? Hello? Rescuer, yes. Okay, and so Kunain is saying rescuer. I have been in the rescuer mode for most of my life, especially when it came to financial support. Most of us are rescuers, so when we are balanced in our lives, we think we are helping other people. And what happens, I have been helping people financially, and so much so that I lost a lot of money. And then I realized these people could have had the capability if I hadn't done that. But it was something within me that I had to, I helped them, which wasn't right. Yeah, we all like to be seen as superheroes and heroes and then tell people, I'm helping them, and, rather than coaching them. So once you become a coach, you'll realize this is your own weakness to become a hero. Now, how do emotions work or impact on career? So in the teamwork, let's talk about this teamwork in an organization when you're working with other people or even in the community. Most of the times when people are having a belief system of what's in it for me, yeah, they will always help others when they find a reason for themselves or when they see a reason for themselves. Or there are some people who want to help and contribute to the community. They will say what they will think. They have a belief system. What's in it for them? And they will always look at what the client wants, or what does the manager wants, or what does the team wants, and they will always be helping them from that mindset. So it all depends on the mindset, how it works on the teamwork. Similarly, in the relationship with your manager, there are some people who come from a belief system who think that it's the manager's responsibility to help them and grow them. And I often, when I was in HR, I was head of HR for many years, and I always used to, when I was doing this leadership training, used to tell them, listen, in the appraisals, it is not your manager's responsibility. It is your responsibility to ask for help and tell them what is the area which is your weakness, what is your challenge. Some people just sit quiet and sit there. Hey, listen, HR has not given me any training. The manager has not given me any training. Hence, I'm like this. Hence, my performance is like this. So this is a wrong belief system. The relationship with manager changes when your belief system changes. When you're in a support mode, when your belief system is to support the manager, thinking that we are all working for the same goal, we're all working for the same business. If business does well, all of us are going to do well. But people take it so personally of working when a manager gives instruction or he gives a certain goal as if it is his personal need. So it is very, very important that people look into their belief system. Similarly, in career, social media image, and I like to talk about this. There are people, and this again goes back to the belief system. There are people who think I'm not good enough. Now, can you imagine if this person is having this belief system? I'm not good enough. What will happen when he goes to the social media? He sees people who are more successful, who are doing well, and everyone puts, the positive pictures or the pictures of achievements and successes on the social media. And these people will further go down in their negative emotion. Oh, I'm not good enough. I'm not doing as well as my mate or my classmate from my management days is doing. I don't know what I've done wrong, blah, 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 blah. They don't see that each one has a different journey. So this can also put you down or pep you up. It depends on their, the belief systems. In terms of support network, there are people who have a belief system who think the universe is supporting them. And when people have this kind of a belief system, they will always have open doors. The doors will open and more people will come to them for support. Suddenly the opportunities will come. I'll just share my own change that I did, in my affirmation. Every morning I get up, and every morning, since the time I learned this, I say, the universe is sending me people, individuals, and organizations who I can help and serve with my knowledge, with my passion, with my motivation, with my willingness to transform and help them. You will not believe, from the time I started doing these affirmations, I started getting more clients. In that 1 week, I got 3 clients. It just does work because we are releasing certain vibrations to the universe. So it all depends on your belief system and how you attract your support network. So change your beliefs, change your emotions. Now let's see how we can do that. We all know what we have talked about, right? We all know that. But how to do that is the toughest thing. Some people know about affirmations. Some people don't know about it. There is a language of success. There is internal language, emotions for success. And there's so much going on in this universe. If you just tune in to this positive world, you will see success coming into your life. Now, for example, there is a job market, yeah, and economy could be shrinking, but you want one job, right? There are people who are looking for jobs. The economy is shrinking. There are no jobs in the market. They wouldn't apply. Or even if they apply, oh, these jobs on LinkedIn are all fake. They don't exist anymore. They're rubbish. And then I meet people who say to me, I got this job through LinkedIn. So it depends on what you are actually attracting from this vast universe. Some people, now I'm into entrepreneurship and I do training, I do my own content, and obviously I look at other people and get ideas. So there was somebody who was saying that I'm so scared my content and my program will be copied, and I will, my business will go down. And I said, you do this training on mindset. Don't you have the mindset of abundance? Don't you think there is enough in the universe for everyone? And whoever is good will get his piece of cake, isn't it? So the change belief system is very, very important. Would you want to write down one belief system that you want to change? is the one belief system which is actually not getting you to the next level that you would like to change? Please write in the chat box. Things will be better and exciting. Yeah, you want to change to this belief system. I understand, Michael. Anything else? Not good enough? Okay, so you want to change to confidence, self-doubt sometimes? Yes. So all of these belief systems, let's see how do we change that. Yeah, it's all about the language, and the language we speak to ourselves and the language we speak to others. So change to acceptance. Yeah, one of my today's quote that I write is, if you're expecting others to change, and if you're expecting yourself to change, I'm sorry to tell you, you will reach only failure when you're expecting others to change. A lot of time, some clients come to me and they say, can you change the situation where my husband loves me more? I said, I can't change your husband's relationship with you, emotions with you, but I can definitely help you so that your relationship will change and you will attract more love from your husband. So when you are looking to change others, it is very difficult. Yes, it is good to change yourself. However, people say it's not easy. So what is the first step? First step is acceptance. There is a personality type training, Myers and Briggs type indicator. There's a personality code, unique personality code that I do with people. I would suggest you go on this link. It's a free link for doing the personality type test. www.personalitymax.com, and just take this test and you will see that you have a unique personality code. There are people who loves deadlines, who are always planned and they are completers and finishers. And there are people who are spontaneous. They also will give you results, but they hate deadlines. They're always the last minute. They're always the ones who will be the last person to be on the flight. And it's a genetic personality code. It's nature versus nurture. So this MBTI test tells you what is your nature. However, with nurture, with environmental influences, with your own efforts, things can change. But acceptance will come when you will realize that there is a unique personality code that you have. Pessimism to optimism. Yeah, glass half full and glass half empty. This is what I say to people about this. Now, challenges happen. A person who's an optimist, when the challenges will happen, he will think, and this is true for that person, it's removal of weeds. Yeah, the weeds are getting out and the challenges are going out and the person is reaching his final goal or his, the bright day, the tunnel is coming to an end. And the same challenge when actually it comes to a person who's a pessimist, what he will think, and he has created this, he has manifested this through his through all of his his doubts and negative emotions. What will happen to him is that challenge is just part of his challenging life. That is a pattern in his life, just because he's a pessimist. So now, here is my message. It is up to you whether you want this challenge to be part of a removal of the weeds and reach the final bright garden, or you want this challenge to be just one of the challenges that keep coming to you. If you want the former, if you want the first one, you have to change your language, emotions, actions, everything. Okay. So the first thing is another technique. Yeah, I want all of you to do this, and I'll stop sharing for a second. But let me give you the situations. All of you who are here in this session today, I want you to create this posture. Okay, so you get selected by Harvard for sponsored education. Okay, can you do it? I'm just stopping to share because I want to take a picture of this. So open your videos and show me the poster you've been selected by Harvard on a sponsored education. Something that you've been waiting for, something that you really wanted. Wow, excellent, Cheryl. Some more, please switch on your videos. Renal, I understand you can't. Anyone else? Kabir, oh, excellent, Kunain. Hi, Evil. Excellent, I see your muscles. All right, so here, thank you. I have taken an amazing picture. Now, the second situation is this. You are fighting against increase for your, rental increase for your property. A warrior's pose. Excellent. Okay. Now the third one is you lost $100,000 in trading stocks. Excellent. I hope it's not a usual kind of a situation for you all or for anyone. Thank you. So how does it make you feel? How does it make you feel? Please write in the chat box. How does it make you feel? When you're doing these postures, how do you feel? Relieved to express my mind, and definitely body changes your emotions, right, Cheryl? So it changes your mind, it changes your emotions, and then it changes the next action that you're going to do, right? So, okay, I have some more activities on this. So there is language of success. Now, storytelling, and we have Evel here. He is a brilliant storyteller. How do you think the storytelling creates retention of what you're learning? Yeah, so if somebody is just talking in stories, how does the retention happen? Isn't it interesting? So why do we see videos and why do we see movies? Because the retention is better, and we get the message very, very clear. Every movie has a positive message, right? Something to learn. So that really helps us. Do you know this hare and tortoise story? Yeah, all of us have learned the story. So we know the first story. The second story is, yes, it's visual memory. The second story is that the rabbit, challenges the tortoise again, and he says, okay, let's have a race again. And this time he makes sure that he doesn't sleep. And after the race is finished, that the rabbit wins. And then there is a third version of the story. They both decide, let's have the race again. And in the water, the tortoise will take the rabbit on its back. And whereas on the plane, the rabbit will take tortoise on its back and will run. And they both reach the deadline together. So there is a lesson in this, about collaboration. And this actually helps us. The stories really help. What is the other thing that makes the emotions very powerful and the message very powerful is the humor. There are people who are always humorous and they add so much of fun to whatever they are saying, whether it's sarcasm or whether it's humor, but generally it is humor. So these people are very good at that, and these things actually create very positive emotions. Now there are weak and strong words which I want you to look at. So if we just change these weak words to strong words, it actually changes the results. It actually changes the performance. For example, I to we, that's a simple one, right? In NLP, they say don't ask why when somebody comes to you with a problem. Why is that? Why is that? Because when somebody comes to you with a problem and you start asking why that happened, why are you feeling that way, you're shifting the person into the problem area again. The person starts thinking and the person starts validating and gives reasons why it happened. So you always ask, so what have you done about this about this problem? What have you done to change this? Change the word but from but to and. Okay. They say if you're saying, oh, you've done well, if you're giving a performance, feedback to somebody, you've done well, but the moment you say but, the alert signals go up of that person, and he's thinking, okay, now something negative is coming. Instead of that, if you use something like this, oh, you have done really, really well, and if you had just focused a little bit more on this, we would have got some better results. This doesn't move the person into a negative mindset. Problem, just change the word to challenge. It makes so much of difference to us. We never say a word called weakness. It's always improvement area. Perhaps to definitely. So these are some of the words that if you just focus on this, your actual language to the world will change. Yeah. There's something very important. Always and never. People say, oh, I always do this, or I never do this. Really? Never? Always? Not even 1%? So it is very, very unrealistic to use these words. It's far better to use mostly or sometimes. And I talked about do not use the word do not. Just talk about what you want the person to focus on. Okay, so energy. Second thing is energy. Now, tell me, how does it make you feel if I'm talking in low terms and if I'm talking in a language that you may like, or if I'm talking in a language that you are all pepped up and you're getting the message, you're getting it delivered, you are being engaged and you have high energy. So there are times when you need higher energy, when you need to pump up your energy, and there are times when you need calm energy. So how does the energy impact emotions? It is energy of excitement. It is energy of calmness. Now, whenever you have a problem, so whenever you have a problem, always have a go-to person, not the person who will be talking more about the problem or who will be, you will be attracting more of such people, not for gossip or sharing the problem, somebody who can give you solution or just can be a listener sometimes. Always have a go-to image. Always have a technique so that you can cut that negative emotion that you're going through. So always energize yourself and have a go-to person ready with you with an image. Okay, there's another exercise. I want all of you to unmute yourself, okay? And you have to create a noise. What is the first one? You get selected by Harvard for sponsored education. So it is the same one. I want to hear the noise.
Hooray!
Wow! Oh!
Excellent. The second one is you are fighting against rental increase for your property. Same one. Okay, so a warrior noise. Okay, so third one is lost $100,000 in trading stocks.
Oh shit!
Oh no! Oh God!
Ha ha ha!
How is your own, the voice and the noise is changing the emotions inside? How is it changing the emotions inside? Anybody on the chat box? Does it change anything? Or it's the same thing. So if you take an action after making these noises, is it going to change anything? I feel the voice changed me more than the posture. Okay, so the VAK model, right, Cheryl? Mental status does not change the feeling, Renira. Okay, so now how about combine the posture with the noise that you make, do you think that will change something? Yes, it will. So right now, just because you're in the session, it may not have come from inside, but when the noise and the voice comes from inside with emotions, it definitely changes your emotions, and then it changes the act that you are going to do. It can either lead to failure or it can lead to success. Okay, so I want to share another technique. And this is a brilliant technique. I want to share this with you. Whenever you are having a negative situation, you are feeling emotional, this is what you do. Just fly yourself, visualize yourself, like they said, remove your soul from the body. So this technique is called dissociation. You see yourself moving up, flying up in the air. Just fly up and higher and higher. If you're not able to dissociate, if you're not able to cut, fly higher. Keep going higher and higher and higher. And then when you look down at yourself, you will start having a paradigm shift. Oh my God, why am I even thinking like that? So this is what happens. It's a brilliant technique, and you must use this. Not only fly higher, but cut with a scissor or burn that rope that is connecting to that person you in the negative situation and the one who's flown up. Okay, so I want you to do another emotion and the reality, the body language here, and the emotions and the noise. So you get selected by Harvard for sponsored education. Okay, this is the real situation. But what you have to, the posture you have to create is you lost $100,000 in trading stocks. Okay, I'll stop sharing now because I want to see you postures. So the situation is real. It's a positive situation. You got selected by Howard, right? However, the body language is that you lost. Okay, excellent. Any more videos on, please? Okay, brilliant for those who are doing it. Second situation, you are fighting against rental increase for your property, and the expression is you're on a holiday. You're relaxed. Look at that. That comes so naturally to us, and we're looking for it. All right. So excellent, Michael. So what is the message here? What I'm trying to say here is the first situation. You got selected by Harvard, and there are some pessimists who, oh my God, how will I go there? I can't go there this year. How will I arrange for the funds? Blah, 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 blah. So the moment they release these vibrations, their journey of doing that, degree from Harvard University is going to become more complicated. And the second situation is you are fighting against a rental increase. Okay, that's a warrior, your warrior pose, let's say. But you are expressing a very calm, relaxed persona, your body language and your emotions, as if you're on a holiday. It will take you through the journey in a very positive way. Would you agree to that? Okay, I'm coming back to the presentation. Just wanted to have see your body language and expression. This is what it does when you are always having a positive body language and positive emotions and positive noise and expressions in any situation. And what you do is you change the results. Okay, so now we are almost at the last slide. What emotions would you like to feel? Yeah, so in your body posture, in your words and tonality, whatever results you would want, you will align your body language, your words, and the tonality, the noise, the tonality, the pitch. Align yourself, and that is the only time you will get one result. If not, if body language externally is saying something else and the emotions is something else, you're sabotaging it, and your results will only be of failure. And people say, why am I not getting it? Because I said this, but I would say externally you said what you should have said, but internally you had the fear, you had the doubt. So that is what happens when you don't align yourself. So My question to you is this, and I want everyone to write in the chat box. I'm sorry for this. One change in self when you go out of this room. What is one change you will do to have this emotional fitness, to be a better person tomorrow? Can you make one commitment? All of you in the chat box. Replacing the word but with an. Excellent, Cheryl. Anyone else? Hey guys, I'm sure you would have learned one thing. Deliberate smiling, that works wonders, Kunain. Anyone else? Dissociation, that is a very, very powerful activity, technique. Use of tonality, why to what, definitely using my voice. Yes, 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 yes. That's a good one. Yes, yes, yes. Dissociate, visualize. Excellent, I will. So yeah, that was my last slide, and was my presentation. I do some more trainings on customer development program that has got, I've just launched it, 100% positive response I've got. Emotional detox, language of success, know your personality using MBTI and DISC, money mindset, similar to what Cheryl does, a small part of it. Sustain relationships. I'm a career and success coach, and I do leadership development programs. And I'm also a human resources consultant. So thank you for being there. Thanks for being all the way through. And I would love to take any questions that you may have through this training.
Thank you, Nishi. I think everybody can unmute and clap for Nishi. Thank you, Nishi. Woo!
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
That was really, really, really awesome. Thank you so much, Nishi. I learned a lot. I learned a lot. Thank you. I'd love to know if someone has any questions. Nishi says she's open for questions, so please jump in. We have an expert in the room. Make the most of it.
Thank you for the lovely words, Cheryl. It's motivating, and it's so nice to just share whatever you've learned. These are very, very basic things in life, isn't it? But just a refresher helps us.
Absolutely, 100%. 100%. I have a question, Nishi, that came to me. There's so many things here that I know and have forgotten. How do I keep this on top of mind? How do I remember it? Is there a tool that you use that I can use to remember these things so that I always embody them and inculcate them in my life?
Right. So I understand you're saying there are things that you want to do like on an everyday basis or a regular basis. So how do you put it on your conscious mind, which pops out of your head? Yeah. So I will say talk about two techniques. Yeah. One, in the night before sleeping, because your subconscious mind is sleeping during the night. They say you can just go through and refresh the memory of the day during on the last moment of your night, when you're just before sleeping, and change that negative situation to positive situation, what you should have actually done if you had an outburst. But to answer your question, what you would do is you would just say that affirmation, what you want to be done. So you have that list of, say, 3 things. You will say that before sleeping, and that will just stay on your mind. On the next day in the morning, you set an intention for what you're going to go through on that particular day. So first thing in the morning, and that will stay on your mind. Your subconscious will keep propping and popping it up on your mind whenever you are distracted. So these are the 2 techniques.
Excellent. That's really helpful. Yeah, I'm going to use that before I go to sleep. Thank you. Thank you. That answers me. Thank you. Who has another question?
Yes, Michael. Thank you for your words,
Yes,
Michael.
thank you, Nishi, so much for this. I definitely. You said one. You had mentioned, about some coaches that they are scared that their content will be stolen. I have taken one of your screenshots of the words, so I like that very much. So my question was, is very similar to Coach Cheryl's actually. So she mentioned how do we sustain it. My question was in a way that, okay, I will start practicing some or all of these things just when I start go out of my room and do this. But what happens is but after a week or two or something, you tend to do it less and it suddenly goes out. So how do you keep it with the same do the same habits with the same vigor maybe next month? So is there any technique that to tell our monkey mind, as you say? Yeah.
Right. It's a brilliant question, Michael. And all of us tend to get back into a default settings, isn't it? That's why it happens, and that's why there are these these channels and platforms created by Cheryl and Evil and people like Rennie and everyone, all of you helping them. So keep yourself connected with the right people. Tune into the right frequency all the time. So whenever you feel, oh, you're going low, yeah. So what I do is sometimes I get demoralized, demotivated, things not happening. I started my business during the COVID year. It's been 1 year. Thankfully, I feel my progress is going well. But there are times when you feel low. What do? I listen to this. I have this, my people, Tony Robbins, and then Sadhguru, and then Abraham Hicks, Louis Hay. So there are some people, depending on my mood, what I'm feeling that particular day. I'm not loving myself, it is Louis Hay. If I'm feeling negative, Abraham Hicks, Tony Robbins on the business. So you tune into those people, yeah, or just speak, or have a buddy. Just have a buddy who will check on you. Yeah, so that's the only thing that we can do. It's not easy. It's changing any habit is difficult.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Nishi. Actually, it was very surprising for a coach like you also need another coach. So, yeah, thanks for that.
We are all humans.
Kunal,
You can go ahead. I think.
Go ahead, Kunal.
Thanks, Cheryl, and thanks, Nishi, for a great session. A simple question, Nishi, that there's a term used as emotional responsibility. What is your take on that, and how can we become more emotional responsible?
Right. Thank you, Kanan, for your words. And it's a very, very good question. So emotional responsibility, as per me, from my understanding, I would relate it to managing your emotions. Yeah. So it is our responsibility, number one, not to throw our emotional garbage on others. It's very unfair to the family, to the children, to the spouse, to friends. So it's our responsibility. What could you do? So what have we talked about in this session, and what we have not talked is be aware of your emotional triggers. Be aware, and there is a very powerful visualization technique wherein you can change when the emotional trigger happens. Yeah, how you can change your response to that trigger. So it's our responsibility not to allow the trigger to happen, and when it happens, how to move from reaction to response. And even if you responded negatively, do not feel guilty. Just visualize that next time you will respond in a different manner and keep going, rather than developing this emotion of guilt. If you read this book, Heal Your Life by Louise Hay, she tells exactly what kind of disease is related to what emotion. So pain, the guilt actually gives rise to painful diseases. So body actually finds its ways to release that negative emotions if you don't release them. Yeah, so body will create diseases. I don't know if I'm able to answer you. Yeah.
Yes, that was good. Thank you so much, Nishi. Okay, Nishi, anyone else who has a question? We'll take one question because I'm mindful of the time. We have a few minutes left. So anyone has one question, please go ahead, jump in now.
No, I just want to thank Nishi. Wonderful session. I joined in a bit late, but then it was like an antibiotic, a refresher, as you said. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nishi.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Before you go, if you would like to share your experience of being here in the Fear to Freedom family.
Oh, yes, absolutely. So when Ranira had spoken to me and asked me and invited some time back, I was so happy. I mean, especially with you, Cheryl, that Evil has talked so highly about your own program that sometimes I'm thinking, I came to know very, very recently that, okay, I was part of this platform. And you know that emotion of not knowing enough started to creep in. And I said, what I told myself is, universe is there to help you and support you. All these people in this platform who are going to come to listen to this session are there to support you. So they are also, it's a give and take. And I came with that emotion. I came with that expectation and love. And I get so much of love. And because this platform is all about giving. So when you are in the space of giving, there can be only positivity there. So I get a lot of positive vibrations on this platform and being connected to all of you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. You spoke the words of my heart. I feel so great having you here. We can feel your love. Thank you, Nishi. Thank you so much. And yeah, we wanted to give you our love, so we're so happy that you felt it.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. How can we connect with you? Is there a specific social media of choice that you have? Is it Instagram, Facebook? How can we follow you and stay with you?
Yeah, I'm more active on LinkedIn and yeah, WhatsApp.
Okay,
I'll
LinkedIn.
share
Fair
the
enough.
link. I'll share the link.
Okay. Thank you, Ranira. Ranira will share the link. So let's all go follow Nishi and stay in touch and grow this relationship. Thank you very, very much, Nishi.
Thank
It
you.
has
And
been an
thanks
honor.